Good morning. Welcome to Bars and Bells. My name is Ian.
And I'm Lauren.
Sometimes the robot, but always Lauren. Here we are exploring our strength with you with Bodyweight and Kettlebells. If you don't have a kettlebell, that's okay. Pattern it with Bodyweight first and add strength and heavy metal to your practice as you can. Lauren, are you going to start with the breath today?
Okay.
Oh, let's do it.
Let's stand tall. We'll gently close our mouth and breathe in and out of our nose. Take a couple breaths just to experience that. Now as you're doing that, are you breathing into the belly or are you breathing into the chest? I like to place one hand on the belly and one hand on the chest. On this next inhale, try to fill the belly. So in and exhale, belly falls. Let's do belly breath one more time. Into the belly, expanding 360s, and exhale. Next breath you take in, try to expand the chest. Inhale and exhale. Again, feel that rib cage expand one more time. Inhale and exhale. Now we're going to pattern it a little bit. 4 seconds into the belly. 4, 3, 2, and 4 seconds out. 4, 3, 2. Repeat again into the belly. 4. Now let's hold that breath for 4. And then fill again into the chest for 4. And slow exhale for 4. 2 more rounds the same. Belly for 4. Hold for 4. Chest for 4. And exhale for 4. Last round. Belly expands 4. Hold for 4. Rib cage 4. Exhale for 4. And one extra bonus, hold empty for 4, 3, 2, and relax. Keep that nose breathing as you can throughout today's practice.
Resuming the warm-up with the head neck. Stand with the chin tucked in and the crown head pointing high. Add a rotation, I'll look to my right first. Then I'll look towards sniffing my armpit. My chin might touch that clavicle and roll to center. Now pull the chin down as you let it go up. Think of opposites as we continue in today's practice. And now that we're looking up at the ceiling, look over to the other side, in this case, my left. Now look down the wall, chin towards that clavicle, return to center, and then look straight ahead. Let's repeat. Rotation to the other side, so that left. But this time, look up the wall. Look up the wall to the head, neck, arrive at center, and then pull the chin down. This time, we'll reach to the other side, tracing the clavicle, looking to the shoulder, then up the wall, finishing in that centering position, and pull the crown head high. Reset your eyes on the horizon. I like to switch up my stance every now and then, so feel free to do the same. Let's take the rib cage through similar directions as the head neck. Shoulders in retraction, hands in tight. First, add our rotation. Then we'll do a side bend to the back corner, and then rounding from the back corner to the front, continue to pull the ribs to the hips and finish tall and level. Same idea, add the rotation. Rotation to the other corner, side bend to 8 o'clock if the clock faces on the floor, and then from 8 to 9 to 10, circle back around to the front and to tall. One last time, add the rotation. Dip to the front right corner or left, and then from there, work around the back towards center, and then pull the sternum onto the ribs. Repeat. Rotation, side bend to the other corner of the front, and then circle around the back from there to center and tall. Always engage those abs and breathe through the nose underneath. Let's get to the floor, but first, let's squat. Stand in your squat stance, feet turned out, press the feet into the floor. Cramp up the glutes, drive down to extend those hips, Feel crampiness or glutes in the back, and maybe that stretch on the front. Slowly switch and to pull the feet together, highlighting the tension through the adductors in the groin and the side butt cheek muscles as well. Continue to pull, letting those knees bend, getting down towards your coffee time squat here, hips approaching lower than knees. Gently rock left and right. You might lift the heels. You might roll the knee in or out. Create a little bit of freedom, build awareness down here. Now let's take a breath, brace on those abs, and drive away to tall. We'll squat later in today's practice, as we'll also hinge. So if the squat was that movement from me, let's look to Lauren to demonstrate the hinge.
All right. So the difference between a squat and a hinge is that squat, our hips drop below the knees, and in our hinge, we'll keep our hips high. Standing with your feet probably slightly narrower than your squat, you're going to chop your hips, pushing them back behind you, thinking the hips almost stay the same level this whole time. Our feet are gripping the floor. Those shins are vertical. Our hips are higher than our knees, and our spine is nice and long. Let's push down and out on the floor. Don't go anywhere. Just push down and out. Start to feel that light up your hamstrings and your glutes. Keep pushing in that direction to stand up tall, extending your hips. Repeat again. Hip chop, pushing those hips back. Tailbone towards the ceiling. Long spine, but a core brace. Push down and away to stand up tall, hips. And relax, shaking it out in between.
Let's get to the floor in a lunge position, as we'll explore that in our get up section as well. Take a single leg of your choice and press it to the back. Pull into the center as we scissor these hips, controlling the descent of the lunge. From here, hike a hip, level a hip, tuck a hip, tip a hip. Find that strong centered position. Gently squeeze your back butt cheek. Push down on that front leg. As a team, could you pull the whole body towards forward? Heavy on the front foot, feeling the hamstring recruitment pulling us forward. Squeeze the back butt cheek. Hold the pose, relax the effort, and one more time, cramp the back glute, press through the front foot, and pull yourself gently forward. Now squeeze your back butt cheek so it doesn't move, but push the front foot forward, scissoring in those hips. From here, continue to push the back foot to the back, the front foot forward, and assemble in our tall stance. Switch to the other side. Take a step back, drop lunge, get the balance just right. Then pull the front heel to the butt. Extend the back hip forward, controlling the descent through your lunge. Then hike hip, pull a hip, tuck a hip, find that strong center position, and with a cramped butt cheek in the back, press down on the front leg. Pull. The whole body, head, shoulders, and hips might move forward as a unit, but avoid the chest leading or arching through the back. Beautiful shape, Lauren. Hold the pose and just relax. And for one more, squeeze or cramp the back butt cheek, push down on the front, create a little bit of that knee over toe, and then push forward, get tall, keep pushing to the back, stand up, and assemble tall.
Ooh.
Let's get back to the floor this time through our hinge. So open up your hinging stance, perhaps feet just outside of those hips. Chop, chop on those hips. Find the floor with the hands, fingertips, callus lines, and then full hands. And a little wrist prep here before we continue. Go ahead, yeah, sorry.
With your fingers spread out wide and your shoulders pulled out of your ears, screw in those forearms into the wrists by rotating your elbow pits or your blood donations forward. Now keep your shoulders packed, and now let's unrotate those elbows. So rotating the elbow pits back and the backs of the elbows forward. Repeat, shoulders stay set, screw in those forearms, trying to rotate them forward. And one more time, the back of the elbows are going to come towards the fingers. And then last time, elbow pits forward or blood donations forward. For one more, feel that pull on the floor as you pull your hands towards your knees into wrist extension, which is shoulders towards over fingers. Then use your fingers to press yourself back and flick the floor away, shaking that out. Because we're doing some get-ups today, I like to do side hands for our bug squish. If you don't know what that is, I'll tell you about it later. Fingertips down, callus line. Now, as you put those palms down, keep your elbows really straight. Good, shoulders packed. Push your right fingers into the floor. That'll send you to the left. Push your left fingers into the floor. That'll send you to the right. Let's repeat this a couple times, keeping the shoulders out of your ears, the wrists nice and straight, and feel the use of that transverse weight. Bring yourself back to center. Try to bring the palms up off the floor, and then flick the fingers away and shake.
Let's get to our backside, assemble in our get-up stance, and for 1 repetition each side, practice the mobility get-up.
Oh, so nice.
For this exercise here, I'll have my right knee bent, and that right arm that could be loaded with a kettlebell just placed across my chest. The first move of that get-up is to extend the hip. Push the bent leg through the floor, initiating a roll, and pull on the opposite side elbow. From here, shrug or relax into the floor, but then through that armpit shoulder blade, press the floor away. Transition to that tall sit or squishing of the bug like Lauren mentioned. At this place, roll the shoulder forward. Then pull or retract that shoulder blade back. Push through the hand on the floor, push through the bent leg, and bridge the hips in the middle and sweep the leg through. From here, just take a look at the hand. Then rotate through the upper back to get the chest or sternum towards facing the floor. Then look to the ceiling, rotate through the rib cage chest next, and then press the floor away. Return your head to center, shoulders to center, and then square up the lunge with the low body. Then press forward and back, hi-ya. Same side down. For me, that's that left leg that drops. We scissor those hips in to control the descent in the lunge. Next, look to the side. Rotate the body, and then let that leg catch up. We integrate the hinge here. We press the hips back, and the hand finds the floor. Then sweep through into our tall sit. Find the elbow, and control your descent to the floor. Check. Take us through the other side, Lauren.
All right, same thing other side. So we cross that arm across the body. We bend that knee. We have the other arm on the floor. We're gonna push our push our foot in the floor, extending the hip, and then pulling on that elbow. From that position, we'll do our light shrug of the shoulder, and then we'll press away. We'll keep that shoulder pressing away as we find our hand. Once there, let's be lazy in that shoulder, roll it forward, and then pull it back. And as you pull it back, you're pushing down and forward, down and back with that hand, and sweeping the leg long. From here, we did our head looks at our hand on the floor, and then shoulders square up. Head rotates to look at the ceiling, shoulders rotate open. Push the floor away, head to center, shoulders square, front foot lunge up. Push down and back, down and forward, up to the back. Leg you can touch, control the down. That front foot opens. We do our head rotate and then our shoulders. As we're here, we push those hips back to hinge. Hand finds the floor, stacking over top. We sweep the back leg long. Find the elbow and keep that shoulder proud, showing your ear. I want you to press away from your elbow to the floor to find your back. And ha.
Nice. Let's assemble now on all fours, and then our modified or high planks position, and create high tension while maintaining our breath from behind the shield of the braced abs. Hands to the floor, knees if you need, and assemble in your high planks position. Bring the front of the hips to the belly button or that posterior tuck, and 10 seconds, go. Go means create tension. Pull the hands to feet, cramp up the glutes, brace the core, find the power in those armpits or lats, and then relax, knees to the floor. Take a moment off. Repeat one last time. We'll utilize this plank tension in the swing and in our heavy holds coming up. Lift the knees if that's for you. Tuck those hips under. Cramp your glutes, pull the floor together, create high tension. Make sure you can breathe, and no one could push, twist, pull you down to the ground. You're strong like a bench. Then knees to the floor. Tip the tailbone to the ceiling, or that anterior tip now, and keep pressing the floor forward. That lifts the knees towards our down dog shape. Gently, if allowed, maintain the tailbone to the ceiling and extend the knees, reaching the heels to the floor. Bend the knees, reset the hover bear position here. Tailbone tip again if allowed. Reach the tipped tailbone to the ceiling. Briefly extend through those knees, checking in, and then use the hands to walk yourself back to your hinge. Press the feet out like Lauren said. Extend and get back on screen, Lauren.
Oh, I'm back.
We're back.
All right.
Checking in. We did a lot of body weight stuff there, and now we'll aim to integrate that kettlebell with some swing progressions.
We'll start our swing progressions with our hike passes. So you'll have to get out your kettlebell. Bring it out, bring it out. Standing in front of your bell with your tip toes, your big toes close to the bell body. Pivot on a heel 90 degrees. Then pivot on that toe. Pivot on the heel, pivot on the toe. Let's first just start in our setup position. We'll chop our hips back in that hinge just like we practiced earlier. Hips go back, feet are heavy, high hips, higher than knees. Long spine. Place your hands on the bell and just tip it on its side. We're not going to pull it yet. Tip. Pack your shoulders. Maybe you drag the bell a millimeter towards you. Feel that load through your hamstrings, that load through the glutes, as well as your core brace. Hold for a second, let it go, stand up without. Either continue practicing that position, or this next time we're gonna hike past it to our zipper of our pants and then park. Repeating for 5 times. Hip hinge, grip bell tip, pack shoulders, brace, pull, and park. Pull, and park. 3 more. We're thinking those lats are engaged as we pull back. We're staying the same height the whole time, and then let go, up without. Whew, whew. Wait your brow.
We'll integrate that hinge as you go to the floor to perform 1 repetition of a push-up. We'll aim to take 10 seconds or similar on the way down, and a high-ya effort all the way back up. High tension, practice the glutes and core brace to stay strong. Hinge, check. Hands, find the floor next. Assemble in your high planks or push-ups position. For 10 seconds, we'll start to pull ourselves to the ground. 8, 7. The chin tuck, the core brace. For 3, 2, to the ground. Then make sure that the hips are tucked under, the chin is neutral, and press to tall. Walk yourself back to that hinging position. Vertical shins, hips higher than knees. Push out on the feet to stand up. Progressing our swing, let's go back to Lauren.
Should we hike past again? No, we're gonna stop swing now. Just checking how many sets we're doing. So starting back with that toes touching the bell as you pivot out and find your hinge position. This time it's 1 full swing, stop, repeat. Let me show you first. Hip hinge, grip pack, pull, swing, through,
For 1.
park. Repeat 5 more times. Pack, pull, and park. We're always swinging to that chest height every time. Keeping the shoulders packed in that core brace. Last 1 or so. And park with control. Whew, nice.
There's our 5. Let's go back to the floor, push up again, 10 seconds down, prioritizing high tension. Hips, hinge, hands to floor, step to your appropriate place, knees down if you need, and pull to the ground. 9, 8, breathe, squeeze your bum. 3, 2, rest on the floor, pack shoulders, tuck hips, core brace, up to press, and then walk through those hands, find the hinge, and press to tall. Please repeat any one of those drills that we've done to this point if you're new to swinging, or let's link that together in 5 repetitions of a swing.
5 swings, continuous. Setting up behind your bell, we'll use our hip hinge. This time we are not putting the bell down. Tip it on its side. Pull, swing, through, repeat. At that topmost position, you're in your plank. Swinging to that chest height, parking with control. Whew. Up without.
Awesome.
Whew.
We'll come back to the swings later in today's practice and just making sure that you feel safe, strong with your progressions. Go back to the deadlift or just that hike pass or join us for successive sets of swings.
Till then,
loaded carries. We're going to start on the floor, so could we pattern it getting to the ground as per our get up. We'll take a leg, drop it back, pulling ourselves down in the lunge. Then open that leg to the side, and then rotate head, rib cage, followed by a hinge, hand to floor. Sweep, ending up in the tall sit. Find the elbow, make sure the bell is out of the way, and press off the elbow to your back. Now that we're here, give the kettlebell a good old-fashioned cuddle. Pinky side near the corner, nice strong wrist, firm grip. Pack the shoulder. Take a breath, and with two hands, push the kettlebell to the top of the bench press position, or what we call our firing range. When you feel safe and strong, take away that second hand and pattern the shape of your getup. The forearm is vertical in relation to the floor. The grip is firm, and that armpit keeps pulling the shoulder blade to the hip to stabilize the shoulder. Let's hold for 5 more seconds, making sure we can breathe under this load, and then 2 hands back on, pull the elbow to the hip, cuddle next, let go, gently moving yourself around that kettlebell to repeat on the other side. The pinky grip, power of the pinky, grip it firm. The wrist is strong, the shoulder is packed, and roll to your back. Hup, 2 hands to press over the chest. Take away that second hand or the spotting hand when you can, and assemble in your get-ups position. Concentrate on the forearm. Is the elbow straight? Is the grip firm? And then that shoulder blade, is it packed? Next, talk to yourself a little bit. Could you do the first move of that get-up? It would be that hip pushing through. Visualize that, but today we'll just work on the hold. And in 3 seconds, we'll go 2 hands back on the bell, pull the elbow to hip, turn it into the cuddle. Let's repeat that 1 more time on both sides. This second time through, I'm hoping it feels lighter. Our body is turned on. If the load is feeling heavier, perhaps get a lighter load that your body can create more resilience and endurance with. Pack the shoulder, grip the bell, turn to the back, 2 hands and press. I personally feel this is lighter. Lauren, what about you?
Yeah, feels good.
Feels good.
Both the same.
Nice. So making sure that the bell isn't feeling too oppressive on the forearm. Lauren likes to say we got to develop the arm meat on that. Don't let it hurt, but build strength. We'll hold this for 5 more seconds. We'll go 2 hands on, pull the kettlebell down, and roll. One last time here in that firing range. Whew. Last time.
Whew.
Starts with that cuddle and a firm grip. The shoulder pack, the breath to prepare, roll, and press. The second hand to remove when you feel safe and strong for it, and the shoulder blade to be packed to the hip and the midline of the body in the back. Set up in the get up, pack it. How does this side feel? Dominant or non-dominant side? Hopefully they're the same level of strong. 5 more seconds. Hold, breathe, 2 hands on the bell, pull it towards the hip, and then down. Let's get up here using our get up, and for that, I'll have my left arm, just like where it was in the firing range, and then push through the bent leg, pull on the elbow, tall sit transition, followed by our bridge, and sweep. Let the hand leave the floor, head center, shoulder center, hips next, and then press the tall, pull that arm down in a grooving pattern, shake it out, and now it's Lauren's turn to take us through some squats.
Squat time. Standing with your feet in your squat position, which is likely slightly wider than your hips and toes pointed out. Let's again, just like we started today, feel that pull underneath us, pulling those straight legs together. Pull so much your legs start to bend. When we get to that low point we're hoping to get to, push down and away to tall. Let's repeat for 4 more. Feel that tension in the pull down and then pressing all the way to tall. As you're pulling yourself down, you're feeling those adductors. And then as you're pushing down and away, you're feeling your hips extend. For the last 2, I think, those feet are still gripping the floor. The arches are still engaged. And last, pull down through those adductors and then pressing to tall and shaking it out. Next loaded carry, we're going to hold in our suitcase position. So let's stand over top of our bell. I like that either parallel with your feet handle or the other way. Either works for this one. We're going to use our hip hinge. Let's grip with one hand, but have the other hand close to the bell so our shoulders are squared to the floor. Pack your shoulder, preload, lifting 99% of it. Lift the last 1%, up to tall. Bell is going to come beside your body. You may narrow your stance a little bit. Your shoulders up, retracted, and packed. You're breathing. Your weight's even in both feet. You're pushing down and away. You feel that core working hard on the far side to keep you upright. You can hear it working for 5 more seconds. 3, 2, you're going to step, bring the bell in front, shoulders square up as you hinge. Let go up without. Same thing, other side. Hinging on the hips. One hand grips, shoulder packed, squared up, preload, up to tall. Bell comes to side body, maybe narrow that stance. With that shoulder up, elevated slightly, and then retracted to be supported in its socket. Weights even in those feet. Hips are pushing forward. Opposite side working hard. That firm grip on the bell. This is for our grip strength, not just our core strength. For about 5 more seconds. Keep yourself up tall. 3, 2, step. Hip hinge, square up without. Whew. We have one more time each side. These things are hot. Same thing. Hip hinge. Pack shoulders, brace, preload, up. Step, hold. Again, retracted pack shoulder. Glutes forward. Core brace just like we do in our plank. We're breathing. Far side working hard. Sometimes I like to be lazy, and then I like to pull myself back up to tall. And brace and breathe underneath. Keep that firm grip. That off arm is slightly out to the side. 3, 2 to the front. Hip hinge, square, up without. Last low suitcase carry for our trips coming up one day soon. Square to the floor. Pack shoulder. Brace, lift. Step, hold. Again, pushing down and out. Breathing. Supporting the shoulder. Firm grip on bell. Off arm out to the side wherever you need to create that tension and balance. Keep yourself upright. Pushing into the floor. Breathing, bracing for 3, 2, then step. Use your hinge and up without. Sweat time.
Sweat time and then squat time. We'll open up our stance again to your squat. From here, keep one leg stiff, pull a heel in, and encourage that knee to go over the toe. Isometric means don't go anywhere but work hard. And for 10 seconds, stiffen your straight leg and don't go anywhere but push heavily through the foot to turn on this quad. Keep pushing for 3 more seconds and then push so much so that we do in fact move to tall now. Repeat on the other side. Pull. Heel connects or pulling towards the other foot on the floor, encouraging knee over toe. Stiffen the leg out to the one side as you slowly, then aggressively push heavily through the bent knee. Turn on the quad and maybe the butt cheek on the other side as well. For 3 more seconds, work hard but don't move. And then when you have that tension, continue to push back to tall. Repeat one more time each side. Pull. One leg pulls and we shift weight to that side. Isometrically press into the ground. Stiffen the other side and press for 5, 4. Keep pushing, feel tension, overcome that knee bend by stiffening and extending the glutes. Repeat, last one to this side, we'll pull, encourage the knee over toe. Hips are forward here, and for 10 seconds, press in the floor. Stiffen the other leg, press through the bent one for 4, 3, build, overcome that tension, stand tall, coast that effort away, heel toes together, and one last position of the kettlebell hold today.
Into the rack hold. This time we'll stand over top of our bell. I'd suggest doing a 90-degree turn. If your handle is not parallel with your feet, make it so. Let's do our chip chop. Hips go back. We're gonna grip with one hand and cuddle with the other hand. As we pack our shoulders, we're gonna use our hips to bring the bell up, punching through and ending up in that rack position. When you're ready, remove that top arm. Check out a few things. Are your hips underneath you versus kicking out to the side? Feet are rooted again, core brace. Vertical forearm, nice straight and strong wrist. Don't let it get pulled back by that kettlebell. Keep that vertical forearm, vertical wrist. For 5 more seconds, we're holding this. We're staying underneath the load. We're thinking about pressing it one day. 2 hands, keep it tight. Hinge to put it down. Let it go, up without. Shake out that side to the other side. Use your hinge. Grip, cuddle, pack shoulder, preload, zip, punch. Vertical forearm, offhand leaves when you're ready. Hips tucked under, glutes squeezed, core brace, even again. Keep that hip right underneath you. Feet rooted into the floor. Nice firm grip on that bell. Right now the bell is resting more on our forearm than it is on our giant biceps. For 3, 2, 2 hands, hip hinge, up without. Right? Our giant biceps.
Well, yours are, I don't know.
All right, same thing, one more time each side. Use that hinge. Grip, cuddle pack, keep it tight to the body, punch through, removing that top arm when ready. If this is too long to spend under time under that bell, take it easy, come down when you need to, always with control. We are spending upwards of that 25 to 30 seconds here, so longer holds. Brace, breathe. Spending time underneath this kettlebell will create tension in the muscles that you'll need to do other things with this bell. 3, 2, 2 hands, unzip. Up. Last one, second side. Hinge, grip, cuddle. Straight up the body and punch through. Again, that vertical forearm. Feet rooted, weight even in both feet. Holding. These workouts are simple, but they're not easy as we create strength and tension in all of our muscles as we're doing this. All of the joints can take this load for 5, 3, 2, 2 hands tight and park. Whew. Wipe your brow. One more set of squats.
Finish out in our campfire or coffee time squat here as we stretch those hips to finish. Initiate the pull. Guide yourself towards your low position by pulling those heels together and assemble down low. We are building about 30 seconds of endurance with the kettlebell. We also build towards 30 seconds hanging out in our squat. Take time. Lauren's shifting weight kind of front and back. The knee towards the midline, and then a knee away from the midline on the other side. Spend time. We have about 10 more seconds if we're going to make it to the 30. Breathe. In the nose, into the belly, and forced out. But now let's collectively take a breath in. Brace and push to tall. Hanging out down there is quite challenging, but often it's the up phase that excites the muscles the most. This has been our beginner kettlebell and bodyweight practice. Start with our bodyweight, transition to the bell, and as Lauren said, simple drills to do with any load that you have at home or the loads that we have to help progress our skills of strength. Yeah.
We're here this weekend. We're here a bit next week, but stay tuned as we enter September. We're going to have a new schedule coming out with the same great things, but slightly adjusted. Stay tuned to your link letter. If you don't have a link letter, it's because you're not a member, and you should be at www.barsandbells.com/membership.
Membership.
Check it out. We also have a coffee membership on there too, if you like to drink coffee as much as we do.
We do. We might have a couple extra cups here today. Very excited to share with you always. And as always, take care. Stay strong, wave on, and we'll train soon.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.